12.
Oh, thanks.
Is even worse.
I mean, it's not like it's an illegal substance.
It's 6:39.
I mean, if you're gonna drink it and get in an accident, it isn't gonna be because you made it, it'll be because you do it.
Tom Welton.
Here.
Steve Machowski.
Here.
Ed Nason.
Here.
Gary Ciccarone.
Here.
Rick Charette.
Here.
Jim Freeman.
Here.
Clifton Camp. Charlotte Coleman.
Here.
Rod Collins.
Here.
Ed Comeau.
Here.
Just Clifton. Yep. So we will sit Richard for.
My appointment was to 2011. I had not been reappointed. That's too much.
I think it goes
Yeah,
March
that's
to March.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to get out of it.
Okay, I'm good for a few more months then. I'm here.
All right. I don't think the chair of selectmen's objecting.
We do have Ernie if we have a question on that.
That's true. Well, yeah, we could ask him that question.
You ask Ernie, I'm sure that it does go to the 11th of March.
Town meeting.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck tomorrow.
I've never been there other than the Chrome Dome over there. I don't know anything about it.
Going well?
No,
All set there,
we got a
Judge?
bunch, because it's.
Okay.
being-
So, time for
the
announcements.
person is more powerful than the signature.
First
so
off,
we got-
any members of the public
I don't
who are
know
going to participate,
tomorrow morning,
well,
people.
we need you to sign in on the attendance sheet for the hearing. So I think that's only Mrs. Collins, that's it. And of course, Ernie, I guess you're kind of considered public. Well, I guess you're always public, but I don't know. Okay, correspondence. We have one nice letter this time from SRPC, our favorite group. I read it just before the meeting, and it is essentially it is signed by Cynthia Copeland. It is a courtesy letter highlighting the accomplishments and the services provided in 2011, as well as their goals for 2012. And everyone's welcome to read it. Other than that, not much to it. Okay. What do we have here?
That's,
Oh, it's totally separate. Nothing to do with us. Okay.
the buck stops here.
All right. That's it for correspondence
Multitasking
and
small
mail.
town.
Public comments. Are there any public comments? Hearing none, let's move on to number 5, public hearing. Okay. Now, there's very specific rules to how the hearing has to be run. Let me just get out the rules so I don't screw it up. Okay, I'll just review these requirements real quick and make sure that I go down the checklist with George. If you want to open your book to Article 14, hearings. Hearings related to the adoption or regulations or zoning ordinance amendments. Procedures for adoption and notice are given in RSA 675-6 and 675-7. Public notice for hearing shall be given 10 or more days before the hearing, exclusive of the day of posting and the day of the meeting. So that would be 12 total days. By posting a notice in 2 public places in town, namely the exterior bulletin boards at the town office in Stoneham Corners, the town website, and by publishing in a newspaper of general circulation in the town. George, can you let us know that's all been done, right? All right. The full text of the subject of hearing need not be placed in the notice, but notice shall be give a clear description of the matter and state where the document may be reviewed. The notice shall state the time, date, and place of hearing. And I have a copy of that notice of public hearing. And if anybody wants to review it, there's copies up here. Okay, the order of business for the hearing. Okay. Okay, so what time is it, George?
It's 6:43.
Okay, it's 6:43. I'm calling the hearing to order, and I've notified everyone of the sign-in sheet. Okay, now it says here I have to explain the rules, the procedure, and the rules of conduct. Namely, address all questions and comments to the chair. Parties will not address each other directly. Identify yourself before you speak. Do not engage in side conversations, please. Okay, now, it's my job to read the text of the notice, which I believe is this. A public hearing will be held at the Brookfield Town Office, Building 267, Wentworth Road, Brookfield, New Hampshire, 03872, on January 9, 2011 at 6:30 p.m., concerning the insertion of the following language in Article 2A, 1B, and deletion of a portion of Article 3E of the zoning ordinance. The replacement of Article 2A, 1B of the zoning ordinance with the following. Home occupations and home-based business are subject to the following conditions. 1. The property owners of record, managers, or lessees shall live in any structure used as a bed and breakfast. 2. Adequate off-street parking with safe ingress and egress of vehicles shall be available. 3. External storage of occupational equipment and supplies shall be screened from the view of abutters and the right-of-way. 4. The number of persons engaged in on-site operation of any one or combination of home occupations and the home-based business shall not be more than 4, excluding the residents. 5. The residential agricultural character of the district shall be maintained. 6. The home occupations and or home-based businesses shall remain limited in scope and shall be clearly incidental and secondary to the residential use of the property. 7. A home occupation or home-based business is an accessory use by the residents of the property and shall be secondary to their residential use of the property. A primary owner or operator of any home occupation or home-based business shall be a property owner of record or lessee of the lot where the on-site operation of the home occupation or home-based businesses are conducted. In addition, this primary owner or operator shall reside in the residence or accessory dwelling unit located on the lot where the on-site operations of the home occupation or home-based business are conducted. If no dwelling exists on the lot, this primary owner or operator shall reside on and be a property owner of record or lessee of an abutting the lot where the on-site operations of the home occupation or home-based businesses are conducted. Number 8. No more than 6 square feet of signboard shall be used to advertise activities conducted on the premises. The signboard may be two-sided. The deletion of the following from Article 3E. Persons who conduct home occupations shall be allowed one signboard no greater than 6 square feet to advertise activities conducted on the premises. The sign may be two-sided. Anyone needing further assistance to attend this meeting or further information should contact the Planning Board Administrative Assistant at 522-3688. The town offices are open Monday, 1 through 8 p.m., Tuesday, 8:30 to 1 p.m., Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon, Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. For additional available times, please contact the Planning Board Chair or Administrative Assistant by calling 522-3688. That's the whole notice. Yes, Rob?
I'd like to point out that we are not at the location where this notice was given.
That's a really good point.
First thing I picked up on.
The clerk has been notified, she has been sending people over.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Does this building have an address? This building?
365, Wentworth Road, the building next door is
265.
265, okay.
265, yes.
All right. Okay, the chair shall explain the hearing procedure. Okay. Okay, so I've already explained the procedure. What will happen now is It asks that I explain the rationale for the amendment, paragraph, or regulation. The chair then invites comment from the public. When there's no more comment from the public, the chair will close public comment and proceed to the next segment. All members of the public have a right to be heard within the time allowed. If there is insufficient time, the hearing shall be continued to a date, time, and place as determined and announced. After review of the document is complete, the chair shall declare the hearing closed. The board shall deliberate to see whether it wants to incorporate the public comments or adopt the document or amendments. The board may vote to adopt the document or amendments in whole or in part. When zoning ordinance amendments are under consideration, the board shall vote whether to place each amendment on the town meeting ballot. If the amendment is approved, the planning board will write the question for the town meeting ballot immediately following the public hearing, and it will then be sent to town council for review. In the event that no member of the public is present when the hearing is opened, which is not the case now, the chair may suspend the proceedings until one appears or until 1/2 hour has passed. If no one appears within that time, the chair shall declare the hearing closed and the board shall deliberate and vote. Does anybody have any questions on the procedures that we're going to process and procedure we're going to go through here? Okay. At this point, it's my job to explain the rationale for the document. Now, as I understand this, I'll do my best to explain it, and then I'll give Rob a minute to explain it as well, since it's his proposal. In watching the process over the past few meetings, it's my understanding that Rob's intent is to consolidate the various components that are related to home occupations into a single area and to, I believe, use a single term, which I've only seen here one, which is just home occupations rather than 2 terms, and then to remove references to signage from Article 3 and incorporate it right into the component there regarding home-based businesses. So Rob, do you feel that's accurate?
Yeah, I would look at just a slightly more color.
Please, go ahead, you got the floor.
I think my intent was to clarify and not radically change what we've got here in town now. So I think the current wording is confusing to a lot of people, and it's not clear, I think, what activities are permitted as home occupations and which ones aren't. I believe the selectmen have been enforcing this as if any activity is permitted as a home occupation. And that's the way that I rewrote this. And so the existing language says customary home occupations, does not give a definition of customary home occupations, but gives some examples. And it's not clear what's excluded, what's included. I've written this to include everything.
So nothing is excluded?
Except for where elsewhere in our zoning, some things are excluded, like dog kennels and service stations and things like that. I'm not proposing changing any of those things. Just making it clear that home occupations are allowed. Mm-hmm. Right? So instead of taking out the word customary, it's not clear which home occupations aren't customary. To me, it's not clear to me. The other, the second area that I think I've tried to clarify is around the scope that's allowed, scope of the home occupation. When I read our current zoning, I don't see any limitation on the size of what can be there, aside from you have to have enough parking and you have those 4 employees, but there's no really other restriction on the size of the operation. And what I've tried to do is in number 6, basically say that it has to be limited in scope. And that's subject to interpretation. Didn't try to quantify that. And my intent would be to leave that up to the enforcing body, whether that's the code enforcement officer, the selectman, the police, whoever they delegate to, the police, whoever, right, to decide whether it's limited or not. And I'd say that there's a third aspect that I've addressed, and that's the question of making it abundantly clear that this is a secondary use to residential use, which our current zoning isn't. I don't think our current zoning is very clear on that. And so that really gets to the question of, you have to live there in order to do the home occupation on a lot in Brookfield, or is it enough to own it? And is that enough to